Good morning, students. In our last video, we are going to discuss about the soil replenishment, in which we have discussed about the nutrients. Two type of nutrients: macronutrient and micronutrients. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. These all are macronutrients, and zinc, iron, manganese. These are the micronutrients. There are total 16 essential nutrients which can be required for the plants for their growth and maintenance. These nutrients can be obtained from the manures and fertilizers. And my last topic is that is the difference between manures and fertilizers. Manures are the natural substance. Fertilizer is a human-made substance. Manure contains small amount of essential nutrients. Fertilizer contains rich amount of nutrients. Manure adds humus to the soil. Fertilizer does not add humus to the soil. Nutrients present in manure are absorbed slowly. Fertilizers are fastly absorbed by the crop plants. Manure is not nutrient specific, but fertilizer is nutrient specific. Okay, so this is all about the manure is cheap and prepared in homes. Fertilizer is costly and prepared in factories. These are the difference between manures and fertilizers. Next, we are going to discuss about the today's topic, that is the irrigation. The supply of water to crop plants after a regular interval of time is known as irrigation. Because water is very important for the growth and development of plants. Water is absorbed by the roots along minerals, and it is transported to the different leaves or different parts of leaves of the plant. Water is very necessary element, very necessary for the photosynthesis process. Without water, photosynthesis process will not occur. The major sources of water is rain. The other sources of water may be wells, ponds, lakes, canals and dams, etc. What are the factors affecting irrigation? Irrigation depends on the mainly three factors. First is the crop based irrigation. Crop means फसल के ऊपर depend करता है. If a crop requires large amount of water, then we have to give the regular supply of water. Example, paddy or rice crop requires standing water. Okay, so we have to regularly supply water to it. But wheat requires less amount of water, so we supply only 2 to 3 waters during the complete season of the wheat crop. Next is the soil based irrigation. Sandy soil requires the frequent irrigation. Sandy means रेतीली मिट्टी जिसमें पानी नहीं टिकता. Sandy soil requires frequent irrigation, but clay soil requires less amount of water. मतलब अगर चिकनी मिट्टी है तो उसके ऊपर पानी आराम से खड़ा रहता है बहुत टाइम तक. नेक्स्ट इज सीजन बेस्ड इरिगेशन. Summer season requires more water, but winter season requires less water. So season based irrigation is also there, because in summer season the evaporation of water is more, hence we require more water, but in winter season we require less water. Next is the methods of irrigation. There are two methods. One is a traditional method, that is the old method, which is available, water is available in well, lakes, canals, and lifted up by different methods. In the very traditional ways are moat, pulley system, that is a chain system, or dhakli system, which can be used by bulls to to dig out the water. नेक्स्ट इज द कैनाल सिस्टम. कैनाल इज द नहरें जिसे हम कह सकते हैं. ह्यूमन मेड कैनाल्स रिसीव वाटर फ्रॉम द रिजर्वर्स और फ्रॉम रिवर्स. लाइक वी आर रिसीविंग small canals having a river, that is we have connected with the main river like Ganga river. Ganga river is the main river, and along with Ganga river there are some small canals are passed which are used to send the water of Ganga river to different areas, different fields. Next is the tanks. These are the small storage reservoirs which catch and store the water. These may be generally, we can say that the rainwater harvesting is used in the tanks. Wells, that is the कुएं कह सकते हैं. Dug wells and tube wells. Tube wells जो हम आजकल जनरेटर से ही चलाते हैं. Tube wells tap the underground water lifted by electricity or by diesel. Next is the river lift system. It is very useful in which water is directly drawn from the rivers for supplement irrigation. Direct river lift system we can use. Next is the modern methods. There are two modern methods. One is the drip system, other is sprinkler system. Drip system, in this system the holes in pipes allow water to fall drop by drop just at the position of roots. Where the roots are there, just to the roots of the plants, drop by drop regular water is supplied. This helps to save the water, and it is the regular supply given to the plants. Next is the sprinkler system, that is the fawara system. In this method the water is sprayed on the plants using sprinklers. The perpendicular pipes having rotating horizontal nozzles are on top, known as sprinklers, which are joined to the main pipeline at regular intervals fitted with the pumps. This is known as the sprinkler system. Next is the water augmentation. Water augmentation means recharging of water to assure the water availability for irrigation for long time is known as water augmentation. Because if we dig out the water regularly, the groundwater is also limited. So we have to conserve this. This method is known as the water augmentation. It can be done by two methods. First one is known as the rainwater harvesting. The rainwater is collected and used for recharging of the underground water by sinking deep drain pipes. That is the we can use the main holes and we put the pipes, and these main holes allow all the rainwater to go inside the ground, which helps in recharging of the groundwater. Next is watershed management. Small check dams are built up in watershed areas to increase the percolation of the water into ground. This is also helps in the water augmentation. Next is what are the advantages of irrigation. Water supplies the essential nutrient and minerals. Irrigation is very necessary for germination of seeds. Irrigation of crops is essential for the growth of plants, and irrigation can be done regular and reliable, whereas rainfall is often seasonal. So to avoid the plants from getting dry, we have to give irrigation. We are using the irrigation method. Next is about the cropping patterns. There are some methods which can be used for the maximum yield. So there are three methods. First is the mixed cropping, intercropping and crop rotation. So first is the mixed cropping, the practice of growing two or more crops simultaneously in the same piece of land. So it is a very older concept in which two or more seeds are mixed together and then sprayed into the field. Okay, it is an older concept in which the main objective is to minimize the risk of crop failure. For example, मैंने क्या किया, सर्दियों में कनक के साथ सरसों के बीज मिक्स किए और स्प्रे कर दिए. अब क्या हुआ, कनक भी उग रही है, सरसों भी उग रही है. इट में भी पॉसिबल कि कोई भी पेस्ट का अटैक हुआ तो वो क्या करेगा, वो सिर्फ कनक के पत्तों को खा जाएगा, तो कनक के सारे पौधे खत्म हो जाएंगे लेकिन सरसों के पौधे बच जाएंगे. दिस इज द मिनिमाइजेशन रिस्क ऑफ द क्रॉप फेलियर. ओके, सो कभी भी फसल पूरी खराब नहीं होगी, आधी खराब होगी तो किसान बिल्कुल गरीब मतलब मारा नहीं जाएगा. एग्जाम्पल इज मेज प्लस उड़द. मेज मीन्स मक्का, मक्का के साथ उड़द की दाल. वीट मतलब गेहूं के साथ चिकपी दैट इज मटर. कॉटन के साथ मूंग के. ओके, सो दीज आर ऑल अबाउट द मिक्स्ड क्रॉपिंग पैटर्न्स. Next is the intercropping pattern. It is the practice of growing two or more crops simultaneously in the definite row patterns. All the crop combination in mixed cropping can be done in the intercropping. They have definite row patterns, that is 1:1, 1:2. 1:1 means एक जो पैटर्न है, एक जो लाइन होगी वो वीट की होगी और दूसरी जो रो है वो चिकपी की होगी. तो इस तरह से 1:1 भी कर सकते हैं या 1:2 कर सकते हैं. 1:2 का मीनिंग एक जो है वो चिकपी की होगी और 2 वीट की लगा दी, तो ऐसा भी किया जा सकता है. Advantages of intercropping: it makes the better use of natural resources of sunlight, land and water. Soil erosion can be decreased. The seeds of two crops are not mixed. The maturity period is different, hence can be separated can be harvested separately and very easily, not so having problem. But in the mixed cropping it is having problem, because somewhere plants of cotton and somewhere plants of moong, so it can be mixed. But in intercropping it is not having difficult to harvest the crops. Next is the crop rotation. The practice of growing 2 or more dissimilar crops in the same field one after another. अभी तक क्या था कि मिक्सिंग की हुई थी, पहले बिल्कुल कंप्लीटली मिक्स कर दिए, फिर रो पैटर्न्स के हिसाब से किए. नाउ क्या है, सीजन आफ्टर सीजन. इन वन सीजन वी आर ग्रोइंग वन क्रॉप एंड इन अनदर सीजन वी आर ग्रोइंग द अनदर क्रॉप. ओके, सो द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ ग्रोइंग dissimilar crops in same field one after another is known as the crop rotation. It increases the nutrients of soil and yield of crop increases. For example, in first season of the rabi crops we are growing the paddy, but in the next season of rabi crop we are growing the leguminous plant like moong, like gwar, etc. So it increases the nutrient efficiency and the growth of the yield is increases. Next is the nitrogen fixation. This is very important definition. Leguminous plants having nitrogen fixing bacteria known as rhizobium. Leguminous plants have nitrogen fixing bacteria, that is rhizobium, in their roots, which helps in restoring nitrogen content of soil by converting atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, is known as the nitrogen fixation. Or in easy way you can say the process of converting atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates using rhizobium is known as the nitrogen fixation. Next is the advantages of crop rotation. It controls the pests and weeds. It reduces the need of fertilizers. Several crops may be grown in succession with only one soil preparation, and alteration with deep and shallow rooted crops, the maximum use of soil can be takes place. This is all about today. That is the advantages of crop rotation till now. Do it in your notebooks. Thanks and have a nice day.